Well, the Vedanta Group has been in focus all this week, whether it's with regard to the parent, Vedanta Resources, and the yields out there, and the Indian listed company as well, Vedanta Limited. Plenty of questions remain. But we have with us Mr. Anil Agarwal, who's speaking to us here at CNBC-TV18. Well, Mr. Agarwal, thanks so much for joining in. And we're looking forward to you clearing out all those doubts. So let's start off first up. The bond deals on Vedanta Resources, they are factoring in a possible delay or a default in terms of payments. What do you want to say on that front? The yields have surged up from around 25, 30, 35% as well. Any doubts out there, or you're confident you'll make the payments as you've done in the past?
We are the company with $30 billion revenue. Next year, coming year, we'll make $9 billion profit.
Right.
Our debt-equity ratio is one of the best in the world. So there is no question of 1 billion, 2 billion when making payment. When you have this kind of, for our internal resources, I'm very comfortable to make this payment. But there is a bank money available, there is a people money available, so we take that money. When I have always seen that sometimes the people don't want India to grow. And who are the companies growing? The few handpicked companies are growing.
Right.
And they try to throw something where India can be pulled down. There is no question of, it is an amazing company which has been the highest dividend paying company. Shareholder has made money, we raised $35 billion and very comfortable, every penny has been made.
Yeah.
So there is no question. We have, number one, we have enough internal accrual to take care of all our debt payment. On the parallel, we have enough resources to raise debt, which is the regular business of ours, to make sure that each payment is made on time. Last 15 years, never this kind of raise, never been company was such a good shape.
Yeah, right.
And never been this question been asked.
Right. Mr. Agarwal, your Vedanta Resources, normally all the payments, if I look at the previous quarters, you have made it in advance and by a good margin. And this time around, there are a couple of payments that are coming up, say, in the next couple of months, which they're still outstanding. So that's why the street is a little bit jittery on Vedanta Resources. But you're telling us that you're confident you're going to be making those payments?
More than confident. More than confident. As far as the bond is concerned, sometimes there is an opportunity people to make money. People to make money. Where you will get this kind of yield? A common man should buy this bond because this is a 50% gain. Because this is the greatest opportunity to make money on Vedanta bond.
Right. I appreciate your optimism, Mr. Agarwal. But what about refinancing? Is that an option? Today, there were various reports that indicated that maybe you're talking to various bankers and you're looking at refinancing these debt payments. Is that on the cards?
No, debt and equity. The two things.
Right.
Whether you take debt as a refinancing or take as a debt, it's a debt.
Right.
And we have to have a debt and equity. Without that, because we are in a, who has set up plant for oil and gas, spending $20 billion?
Right.
Who has set up the plant for $20 billion for zinc, only producer of silver?
Right.
Who has put in $17 billion in aluminum, opening the bauxite mine to the smelter, to complete value chain.
Yes.
Who has done the optical fiber all over the India? We are the largest optical fiber. These all are monopoly business. It's not a monopoly business, it's a business which is very hard to replicate.
Right.
Very capital intensive. I feel very proud that this kind of asset has been created in India. And we got all the money from abroad, brought in here, we put in this money, and we don't work less than, by and large, 30% margin.
Yes.
We have 100,000 people working.
Right.
By and large, there is no union. Or everybody who work for me is my family. So with this kind of strong position,
Yeah.
कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना.
No, but Mr. Agarwal, no, we appreciate the workforce that you've built and the assets that you've built as well, which is quite phenomenal. But just before we move on, wanted to question you that in the next 12 months or so, close to $1.5 billion of repayments or maturities come up, and you're confident about making them, right?
We have said that in 2 years' time we will make $4 billion payment. We have already done before payment $2 billion.
Right.
This $2 billion to be made by June, July. It is absolutely very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Even with the internal accrual, the kind of money we are throwing, we can pay.
Right.
But it is our business to take the debt.
Yes.
And this is a machinery which is working.
Right.
And whoever give us a position, but it is a company which has the track record. We have a huge, big company. This is small number, what you're talking, 1 or 2 billion.
Yes.
It's a very small number for Vedanta.
We take that on board then, and good to see your confidence in terms of these repayments. Let's focus on the Indian listed company Vedanta Limited. Now, there's a large proportion of your holding which is pledged, and the street is getting a little bit jittery out here. But, you've put out a clarification when we wrote to you. I just wanted you to clear the air in terms of your positioning on the pledge holding that you have, both in Vedanta Limited as well as Hindustan Zinc, Mr. Agarwal.
I don't think Vedanta Limited has any pledge. Only Hindustan Zinc 6% share has been pledged.
Right.
And this is the part of system. But if you look at the overall debt in the company,
Yes.
the total debt in the company is $12.5 billion. $12.5 billion. Against we are going to make $9 billion profit.
Right.
So is a hardly any debt.
Right.
With a capital incentive business. So I'm very comfortable. Sometime some bank insists to have some share pledge for this, but we are not pledge people.
Right.
Hardly any share is pledged. We don't need to pledge any share.
Right. So Mr. Agarwal, as per the Bombay Stock Exchange and the NSE, the way they reported, it appears that it's a pledge. But you're clarifying here that none of the loans are an actual pledge. It could be a top-up that the banks have asked for.
Absolutely, except the 6% share
on Hindustan
Zinc is pledged.
Okay, all right. So you have cleared the air on that front as well. Also, a quick word in terms of the current global environment. Everyone's fearing there will be a bit of a slowdown. What's your thought on that? Will you go a little bit slow? And you have seen multiple cycles, Mr. Agarwal, in the last many years. What's your take?
Definitely. There is a huge pessimism in the world. And there is a huge inflation. Prices are going up. But India has become in a sweet spot.
Yes.
Because the aspiration of the people are very high. People who are in a cycle want a scooty want a scooter,
Yes.
a scooter want a car, they want a good school, they want tap water, they want electricity. So the lower middle class people, there is no question they are going to jump into the middle class. And when that happens, the demand is going to be very, very high.
Right.
So I personally feel that we are in different position, and the biggest thing is our government is very, very strong.
Right.
That has been established. Mr. Modi, our Prime Minister, is a darling of the world. So he's a tall leader.
Absolutely.
That also gives lot of confidence to the people. Two things necessary to do. India has a chance to be the first world.
Yeah.
India has a chance. I can see the hope. We eradicate our poverty. We create massive job.
Yes.
And we have a sanskar also. We have our culture also. I think when the government machinery system accelerate and start faster decision, benefit of doubt has to be given to the other side.
Right.
And judiciary, phenomenal judiciary we have, one of the best judiciary. But if they start working faster, I think that will fuel for our growth. To answer your question, yes, the world is thinking of going through recession.
Yeah.
But India definitely in a sweet spot.
Yes.
And with entrepreneur, India is a land of opportunity. India is a land of entrepreneur. India is a land of youth.
Yes.
India is a land which is a culture. So having all this with a strong government,
Yes.
I think I'm a very optimistic. I think it's a great time for India to scale it up.